Kids across the Duke City are getting ready for their first day of school. Yes, summer break is over for Albuquerque Public School students. That also means that drivers should be aware that those school speed zones will be in effect again. Our News 13's David Romero is live at Washington Middle School with more. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Elizabeth. Well, Albuquerque police won't be the only ones out here enforcing the proper speed in the school zones like you see behind me. Now, 15 school resource officers will also be looking out for infractions in these school zones. APD's traffic unit will be out this morning rather the mornings throughout the school year and the afternoons as well. At least 21 officers will use laser and radar to monitor the speeds and hand out citations to people ignoring the posted speeds. APD says because there are a lot of schools throughout the city, they cannot have an officer at each location, but will send officers to these spots based on complaints and information from schools as well as crossing guards.
It's that long summer where we sort of go through the city without having to think about kids and where they are, and once school starts, we have kids of driving age who are out again, we have kids who walk to school.
And when those kids are walking to school, remember when you're going through these the school zones, there are no passing other cars in those areas. Elizabeth, back to you.
Let me tell you a very important reminder, David. Thank you so much for that. Police also will want to remind drivers that they will be using additional tactical operations to stop speeders throughout the city. And again, they urge you to be extra cautious out there. This school year begins with a lot of changes. Some of them are district-wide, others are centered around individual schools. Now let's talk clothing first. If you have students who go to Volcano Vista or El Dorado, you want to make sure they're wearing tops with sleeves on them. Of course, the standard set of dress code rules apply. No saggy pants or no short skirts or shorts. If your student gets lunch from school, it will be healthier, but a little bit more expensive. We're talking about a dime more. Expect to pay $1.95 for elementary school kids and $2.20 for high schoolers. Last week, APS announced that 7,000 students who qualify for reduced lunch rates will not have to pay anything at all. In other news this morning, we will be following what happens at a special meeting set for today for Albuquerque City Councilors as they discuss a move that could ultimately result in getting the necessary funding for the Paseo I-25 interchange. The issue was supposed to go before voters on the November ballot, but a recent decision by the Attorney General's office called that into question, saying a city issue doesn't qualify for the general election ballot. At a special meeting tonight, councilors will begin discussing whether to vote yes to approve $50 million for the project. Now, if 7 of the 9 councilors end up doing so, the city could then bypass a public vote altogether.
Pretty much every project that we're working on right now has kind of been pushed to the side. We're focusing 100% on Paseo del Norte. We're taking it very seriously, and we are evaluating every option we possibly have, and we're just going to keep pushing forward till it gets done. That's the ultimate goal.
The council won't actually take a vote on approving the $50 million until another couple of weeks. There is a chance, however, the issue could still end up on the November ballot for you, the voters, to decide. The Secretary of State will make a final decision on that sometime this week. We, of course, will have more on what happens during tonight's meeting later in our newscasts. She claims he tortured her for hours. Today, the trial against the man charged with kidnapping and rape is set to begin. 24-year-old Arnold Thomas is still in jail this morning. It was nearly a year ago that police say he forced a woman into his car while she was leaving a party. Police say he took her to his apartment where he raped her several times. The woman was able to escape, but before doing so, she managed to snatch his credit cards, and that's how police ended up identifying him. He is faced with kidnapping and rape charges. The family of a 2-year-old who died after being left in a hot car wants the person accused of killing him, the child's aunt, to be released from jail. 19-year-old Sandra Rodriguez Miramontes is charged with child abuse resulting in death. Police say she drove 2-year-old Gabriel Torres to the daycare where she worked last week and forgot to take him out of the car. The toddler was left inside the sweltering car for at least 8 hours. The family, although distraught over the incident, insists it was just a horrific accident.
This will happen even to the best parent, the best dad, the best mom. Can happen to anybody.
Now, the family held a car wash to help raise money for the child's funeral and to help get Sandra out of jail. The family told us that Sandra Miramontes loved her nephew more than anything. She also has a child of her own. Now, these are pictures of the family taking Sandra's baby to see her in jail. Even if Sandra Miramontes is able to post bond, getting out of jail will still be difficult since she also has an immigration hold on her. The family says that she is not a U.S. citizen, even though she has been in the U.S. since she was a young girl. Albuquerque police are investigating the death of a woman, an investigation they are calling a violent crime. The victim was found on the street in the 8000 block of Princess Jean in northeast Albuquerque around 6 last night. Police found the woman passed out and bleeding. So far, no word on what led up to the woman's death. One person has been detained.